1976, the year disco put on its boogie shoes, spun the glitter ball, and told the world to dance like nobody was watching. Except everybody was. With velvet jumpsuits, chest hair, and falsettos that could shatter glass, disco in '76 wasn't just a genre, it was a way of life. Nightclubs like Studio 54 were heating up, and the radio was basically a non-stop dance party. But amid the flash and flare, certain tracks rose above the rest. Some came from surprise artists, some were unexpected smash hits. But all of them had one thing in common: they kept the party going strong. So dust off your platform shoes, fluff that feathered hair, and prepare to strut through 15 unforgettable disco anthems from 1976. Whether you're reliving the good times or hearing these jams for the first time, get ready to move. Let's groove.
Get the cameras rolling, get the action going.
More. Andrea True connection. When adult film star Andrea True got stranded in Jamaica due to currency restrictions, she turned a financial headache into a disco classic. More, produced by Greg Diamond, was her ticket out, literally and musically. With its sultry vocals, hypnotic groove, and just the right amount of cheekiness, the track climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped Canadian charts. It was a surprise smash, fusing sensual flair with a pulsing rhythm that screamed, "Dance with me."
Take me where you want to, man, my heart you steal.
The song became an instant favorite at nightclubs and roller rinks, helping solidify disco's takeover of mainstream pop. And decades later, it still grooves. Sampling by Len in "Steal My Sunshine" gave it new life in the '90s. Not bad for a song born from currency laws and creative hustle. Andrea asked for more, and disco fans gave it to her in spades.
It's high time now, just one crack at life.
Young Hearts Run Free, Candy Stton. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you. With that line, Candy Stton kicked off one of the most empowering disco anthems of 1976. This loved-up classic blends upbeat dance rhythms with a message about independence and self-respect, something not often heard on disco floors. The song, produced by Dave Crawford, reflects Stton's personal experience escaping an abusive relationship, giving the lyrics extra emotional punch.
To yourself be true, don't be no fool when.
Her voice soars with soul and conviction, making it a favorite across R&B and pop audiences. It hit number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, but dominated the R&B chart and international airwaves. And let's be honest, every dance floor needs at least one anthem for breaking up and glowing up. Whether you're dancing with someone or flying solo, this track reminds you to do it on your own terms. It's disco therapy with a beat.
You might not ever get rich.
Car Wash, Rolls Royce. Only disco could make washing cars feel like a celebration. Car Wash, written and produced by Motown legend Norman Whitfield, is funky, flashy, and totally fabulous. Released as the theme song for the 1976 movie Car Wash, it made drying chrome and waxing bumpers sound like the most glamorous gig in town. Lead singer Gwen Q. Dickey delivers sass and sparkle as she belts out, "You might not ever get rich, but you'll definitely get down." The track hit number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts and quickly became a dance floor mainstay. What really sold it was the groove. Funky bass, clapping rhythms, and horns tighter than your uncle's polyester pants. Car Wash became Rolls-Royce's biggest hit and a disco essential. Even today, if you're vacuuming your back seat and this comes on, you're dancing. The Fifth of Beethoven, Walter Murphy. Only in disco could Beethoven get down like this. This unique track took Ludwig's famous symphony, dressed it in sequins, and sent it spinning under a mirror ball. Released in 1976, the track quickly rose to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was part novelty, part genius, a classical composition with disco drums, funky guitar, and enough synth to make Mozart faint. Murphy, a classically trained musician, managed to honor the original piece while making it a banger for dance floors and roller rinks. Later featured on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, it earned a permanent spot in disco history. This instrumental track wasn't just a joke. It proved that even 200-year-old music could get people moving. A Fifth of Beethoven brought this symphony to the streets, and honestly, Ludwig would have approved.
Get up and boogie.
Get Up and Boogie, Silver Convention. With those 7 words, German disco trio Silver Convention gave the world one of its most minimal yet infectious disco anthems. Released in 1976, Get Up and Boogie was a follow-up to their earlier hit Fly Robin Fly. And while the lyrics are short and sweet, the groove is relentless. It surged to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and dominated dance floors around the world. The beat is pure disco engine room. Thumping bass, soaring strings, and that signature European disco sound. It's a track that practically forces you out of your seat. You don't need poetry when the beat says it all. If disco had a mantra, this might be it. And for a song with fewer words than a fortune cookie, it sure delivered a big, bold, boogie-down moment. 10 Shake Your Booty, KC and the Sunshine Band were on a roll by 1976, and this groovy track kept the streak alive, literally. It became their 3rd #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 and another invitation for the world to hit the dance floor. With a funky beat, horn stabs, and KC's enthusiastic vocals, the message was simple. Don't just sit there, move something. Critics might have raised an eyebrow at the suggestive title, but KC swore it was about motivation and positivity. Sure it was, buddy. Regardless, the track took over clubs and radio stations. Side note, the B-side of this single, Boogie Shoes, became a disco classic in its own right when it appeared on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. 2 anthems, 145. If your booty wasn't shaking after this, it probably needed a jumpstart. Love Hangover, Diana Ross. Starts slow, real slow. Ross croons like she's sipping champagne on a silk sofa. But then it shifts gears and explodes into full-on disco glory. Released in March 1976, this track became Diana's 4th #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Produced by Hal Davis, the recording session itself was a party, complete with a strobe light to get Diana in the groove. You can hear it in her performance. She flirts, teases, laughs, and lets go. The transition from sultry ballad to feverish disco was a masterstroke, giving listeners 2 moods in one unforgettable song. Ross was already a legend, but this track showed she could dominate the disco scene just as effortlessly as she did Motown. Whether you're feeling flirty or full-throttle fabulous, Love Hangover hits every note, and then some. You Should Be Dancing, Bee Gees. Before Saturday Night Fever made them disco kings, the Bee Gees gave us this undeniable groove. You Should Be Dancing, released in 1976, was the moment Barry Gibb's falsetto officially joined the party. The song shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and paved the way for their late 70s dominance. With a tight rhythm section, funky guitar licks, and background vocals that could charm a brick wall, this song was pure motion. Fun fact, Stephen Stills played percussion on the track. Yes, that's Stephen Stills. The Bee Gees fully embraced the disco wave and made it their own. And the title? It's less a suggestion and more a command. If you're not dancing by the second chorus, check your pulse. Siedme, Love Roller Coaster, Ohio Players. Buckle up for a wild, funky ride that turned up the heat in early 1976. Originally released in late 1975, it hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 just as the new year kicked off. Driven by blazing horns, slinky guitar licks, and a groove you can't sit still to, this track took the disco-funk hybrid to new heights. The lyrics compare love to a roller coaster, full of highs, lows, and unexpected turns. And lead singer Leroy Sugarfoot Bonner delivers every line like his heart's strapped in for the ride. Then there's that scream. Rumors swirled about a murder caught on tape, but it was just a sound effect and some spooky studio myth-making. Still, the mystery only adds to the song's legacy. Love Roller Coaster wasn't just a dance floor favorite. It was a funky adrenaline rush that left disco lovers begging for another ride. Disco Inferno, The Tramps. Burn, baby, burn! Those 3 words are all it takes to light up any party. The Tramp's Disco Inferno, inspired by the disaster film The Towering Inferno, was originally released in 1976, but didn't explode until it landed on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack in 1977. By 1978, it had climbed to number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. But even before the charts caught up, dance floors had already declared it a hit, with Jimmy Ellis's powerful vocals, scorching guitar riffs, and a rhythm section that refuses to quit. The track became an anthem for dancing until dawn. It's over 10 minutes long in its full version. And yes, people danced the entire time. Disco Inferno proves that when the groove is this hot, the only thing to do is let it burn.
Must be missing an angel.
Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, Tavares. With a title like this, you already know it's going to be smooth, sweet, and dripping with disco charm. Released in 1976 by the Tavares brothers, this track was their biggest international hit, reaching number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 and dominating dance charts worldwide. What really sets it apart? Those soaring falsettos, tight harmonies, and a groove so heavenly it practically floats. The song was produced by the legendary team of Freddie Perrin and Kenny St. Louis, guys who knew exactly how to blend soul and disco into something irresistible. And let's be honest, the string section alone could lift you off the dance floor. Whether you're in love, heartbroken, or just vibing, Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel wraps you in a warm, sparkly hug. It's got romance, rhythm, and just enough swagger to make Cupid boogie.
Oh,
I Love to Love, Tina Charles, didn't just love to love, she loved to disco, and she proved it with this 1976 banger. I Love to Love, But My Baby Loves to Dance is a perfect slice of British disco, produced by Bidoo, the same mastermind behind Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting. The song hit number 1 in several countries and made Tina an international sensation. The lyrics tell the story of a woman who wants to cuddle while her man just wants to boogie. Relatable, right? It's catchy, cheeky, and backed by a groove that won't quit. Charles's powerful vocals glide effortlessly over the rhythm, creating a track that's both soulful and danceable. It's a song for anyone who's ever had a partner who's more about the party than the pillow talk. I Love to Love was her biggest hit, and honestly, it still slaps.
she likes to boogie down.
Boogie Fever, The Silvers, caught a serious case of Boogie Fever in 1976, and lucky for us, it was contagious. With its funky bass line, playful lyrics, and a beat you could roller skate to in your dreams, this track climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The Silvers, yes, a real family group, brought youthful energy and tight harmonies to the disco scene. Boogie Fever wasn't deep or complicated. It was fun, flirty, and exactly what the dance floor needed.
He's got the boogie fever.
And let's not forget those opening lines about boogieing in the grocery store. Iconic. The song's success helped launch the Silvers into the disco spotlight and became a go-to jam for parties, clubs, and anywhere someone had a pulse and a pair of hips. Whether you're young, old, or somewhere in between, Boogie Fever was, and still is, highly infectious.
Come on now on the floor. Let's get down some more.
Let's Groove Tonight, Archie Bell and the Drells. Before Earth, Wind and Fire's version of Let's Groove lit up the 80s, Archie Bell and the Drells were already setting the disco floor ablaze with their 1976 groove anthem, Let's Groove Tonight. Not to be confused with the similarly titled EWF track, this jam comes with funky horns, feel-good lyrics, and Bell's signature Southern soul twist.
Come on, catch the groove.
These Houston legends had already made waves with Tighten Up, and this track proved they could keep up with the disco boom. The groove is steady, the vocals are smooth, and everything about it says it's party time. While it didn't hit number 1, it earned a strong following in clubs and remains one of those hidden disco gems that true fans never forget. Archie Bell invited everyone to get down, and if you had any rhythm at all, you didn't argue. And there you have it, 15 disco gems from 1976 that still make us want to bust a move, shake a hip, and maybe break out some vintage polyester. Whether you were there when disco ruled the earth or just discovering it now, one thing's clear. The beat never really stopped. If you enjoyed this groove train, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What's your favorite disco hit from '76? Stay funky, friends.